Dr. Ellie Mannette.
Everybody's happy? Well, I'm very pleased to see the number, and I'm also very happy to be here one more time to talk to you about my life story. In a nutshell, I would not be able to go through the whole thing. I will not be able to go through my life story really. It will take you a week to do so, but I'll just give you an overview, oversight of what I did and what I didn't do. And then I'll play a little bit for you. Each year over the last several years, I've been playing a little bit of music for different ladies from the audience. I played for Emily and for Susie, Angie, Patty D, my daughter Julie, for Kathy. Incidentally, like everything ends in an E. Look at this. Susie, Angie, Patty, Kathy, Julie, Emily. So every song that I did always ended up in, and incidentally, I played in the key of E and P. So that's funny. So everything E, E, E. Anyway, this year I was trying to arrange a song for myself, my life story. As I look back in time of the life I have lived, and I asked myself, how could I? And then I wondered why. But I have no regrets. But I just cannot forget the things I did both night and day. And always know one day in my heart, my work will somehow find a way. And if someone will ask me, where would it go? I'll simply say, I just don't know. But I'll find a path that I will follow. And that is some of the lyrics of the song. First, I have to look ahead so I can find this path. And I ask myself, will this path show me where to go? Those were my thoughts, which drove me on and on and on. And suddenly a light appeared, and that picture began to get clear. If someone asked me, what will this picture be? I will simply say, I just don't know. However, I will walk from year to year and always know one day that I will hear them play. That is some of the words. These were my thoughts that I saw in my mind, and it has become my destiny, and that's a fact. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what I am saying about my life story. It has become my destiny, and I gave up everything for the steel drum. And as I said in the early part, I never regret. I never regret my education. Sorry to say, my family, government position, everything there was some way to accomplish and achieve. I had it available in front of me, but I decided this is my destiny, and this is what I'm going to do, and push it through the world, promote it. I traveled around the world in England, France, Brazil, Puerto Rico, Cuba, everywhere, Canada, Mexico, promoted the art form. You will never believe the life story that I can tell if I really get down to the nitty-gritty. It's unbelievable, the life story that I have lived, how I did and what I didn't do. And my whole goal was accomplish a beautiful instrument which can live on and then turn around and train young people that I can build it run as good as I can or ever would, and build it better and tune it better. Those are my goals. I'm not a selfish person to have my skills and fade away with my skills, because no man lives forever. Ultimately, Ellie and I will have to go. But I leave a legacy of real professional young people which will move the art form forward for the future. That is what my whole goal is, and I'm certain that this will happen. 90% of all the people that tune drum in America today, 90%, I have had direct influence on their training, everyone. And I never was one of the people to hold back my knowledge of some tuners today. If you get close to them, they will just put their hammers down and walk away. What I say about that is, they're not confident in what to do, and they don't know what to do, and they guess it. And in so doing, they don't want to look bad in front of your eyes. So rather than put their hammers down and walk away. But in my case, I can talk it through while I'm walking. And you understand, you will understand every stroke of my hammer. The young people that I work with, I train them with a certain language. And the language of the steel drum, they know it really well. They say it and they know what to do. You would not understand the language. Of course, it's the English words that we use. Neck and point and throat and spread and a whole bunch of words that we use, but how we apply it at a given time. So they understand the language of the steel drum and they know exactly what to do at a given time. And I know for sure, after my time, this work that I have developed will live on. Ladies and gentlemen, I started 11 years old, and I never left the art form, all through my school days, all through everything, ups and downs, difficulty and not. I had the steel drum in the forefront of my mind to build. At first, I was fumbling in the dark. I didn't know what I was doing. I was guessing and creating a nuisance to the public. However, the public did not understand what we were trying to do at the time. So they will criticize and they will call in law and the police will come and lock you up and chase you away and do all kind of crazy things. So you were trying to prevent us from developing this beautiful instrument today. Because at the time, what I'm speaking about was a lot of trash cans and buckets and bins of all kinds, and it was really a nuisance because there was no melodious tones and harmonizing things. It was only rhythm all day, 24 hours a day, and it made no sense. But that was driving us in our minds, and in that driven ideas, I began to come up with the ideas to create notes on my drum. I was not the first person to create notes. A gentleman by the name of Spree Simon, I understand, I was not there, but I understand he was the first person that creates notes on a steel drum. It was not the steel drum today, but the small barrels, paint drums and grease barrels. And at the time, the drum was convex. Push them out, convex. And the dent with the boom handle. And by so doing, managed to get 3 or 4 notes in a pattern which you could have played a maybe had a little lamp. And I heard it and I was very crazy because I could not do it, because I didn't know how to get the notes dented from the top, how to get it to play consecutive notes. So in 1941, I was like 13, 14, I don't know. I sunk my drum down into the concave. 41 is all recorded in the islands of all the archives. Wherever you can go, you will find the facts that I sunk the drum in 41. And then instead of having the dented tops with a boom handle, I put little bumps from the underside on the concave basin. I put little bumps upwards, and you could move the bumps with a little hammer. So I had managed to get a step ahead of the other guy. And 1941, 42, 43, we began to expand number of notes. 1944, 45, I made a pretty large drum at the time, it was a 35 gallon, and we called it Barracuda. It was very famous in the island of Trinidad. I think everybody in the panel has heard about the Barracuda. Why I call it the Barracuda. It was such a good drum, I call it a bad drum. And the bad drum was because the Barracuda in the island is a fish, like the shark, but the Barracuda is worse than the shark. It's so bad, you know, it reverses with you. So I call it the Barracuda. And it's got very famous in Port of Spain. And VJ and I had victory in Japan, 1945, a band from the upper east side of Port of Spain. They took my drum away and hung it up in a tree in their yard and tell me come for it. And I did not want to go because they'll beat me up again. And I would not get the drum. So I decided I am going to build a big drum for the first time. And everybody, there's a lot of controversy here and there. Ellie Mannette did not build the first big drum. You tell anybody that would dispute that fact, let them find the person, or find the article, or find the documentation, or find anything to say that is not Ellie Mannette who have done the first drum. 1946, I built the first musical instrument from a 55-gallon barrel. It was a crude song, nothing to talk about, but the idea was there. And the idea was there. I developed the ideas of one, then I did a single second and a single guitar, and a doo-doo one bass, and it was going on like that for many, many years. So the album began to spring from the garbage can into musical notes on these grease barrels. A 55-gallon drum community called a ping pong. I went a step ahead from there. And then, as a result of this instrument taking shape, the government of Trinidad and Tobago decided to send a group to England to show this new instrument to Europe, to let them see what this new instrument is all about. Although the drum was crude and ridiculous, but it was so different. The people in London, the Waterloo Bridge and Hyde Park and Salvages and Piccadilly Circus and Buckingham Palace, everybody was craving to see these instruments, although they wasn't good at all. And the idea that I got from that trip in Europe, the idea that I got brought me back to Trinidad. I came back to Trinidad in '52, and right off the bat, I made a single second, the double second. But when we were in England, we had a single second. And then we came back to Trinidad, and I made a double second. Then in '52, and in '54, I made a double guitar. And in '56, '57, I made a triple cellos. And '58, '59, I did a tenor bass. And 1960, we moved, at the time I had only 3 bass drums. The lowest note then was the G note, because we just did not have the ability to take the notes low in pitch. So we had a G note for the lowest note, and 4 notes in each drum, 5 notes in each drum. Okay, and in 1960, I made a 6 bass barrel. What we have today is 4ths and 5ths, for B flat 5th, B 4th, C 5th, C sharp 4th, D 5th, E flat 4th. So it's like that how we have it. Okay, and everybody using it today. And then of course, the early part of the 40s, when I sung the drums, all we played on the drums at the time was wooden sticks. Hard, very, that's how you get on the note. So therefore, when you try to play, you are getting more impact of a metal song than notation, than notes itself. And in 1943, that's documented also. 1943, I wrapped the 4 sticks. 1944, I burned the first drum. There is nothing much in the steel drum world that I did not first accomplish. I mean, the drum that we have today, the managed whole tone, augment, 4th and 5th, everything is my design of drum. Everyone. Every single drum that they play around the world today. Now the young people, of course, they add in number. I have 3 guitars, they might add 4 and 5 and 6. It doesn't change anything. They just add number. The cellos are the same. The bass drums are the same. They have, instead of 6 basses, they had in our 15 basses, 12 basses. But then fool themselves. Because in fact, you only could hear so low in pitch. Then after you pass that B flat going down, and you get the A, B, A flat, G, the decibels are so very slow, you can hardly comprehend what is really playing. So they'll make a dumb note and go, and the dumb note at some boom boom, and play to the upper part, with the upper note, upper octaves, and it will sound as though that little note is playing. But in fact, you cannot distinguish what it is. And the machine can't even read what it is. So I do, it's fine, and then do what I gotta do. I haven't got to do with that, but I do what I have to do. I don't criticize anybody's work. All I know is I have a special style, a special song, and I will live with that. All everybody wants is brilliance of high points. And when you come out to the foundation of the band, the bottom is not there. And I always feel that the bottom of the band, the foundation, is the band. You could play Highland until you get blue in the face. It band have nothing. It's the low pitches that make that band beautiful, and the inner voices, the guitar, cello. So ladies and gentlemen, now, I am not trying to go through the details of what I really do. Of course, I just run through here and there to give you an idea of what happened. But if I sit down to give you analysis of everything that I did And the other guys, you'll never get through here tonight. It's just a matter of just giving an overview. I built the first drum, 46. I rapped the first six. I sung the first drum. I could build every instrument equally well and tune one equally well. Most of the tuners around the world today, they specialize in one drum. And maybe a double tenor, a double second, or whatever. But when they come down to the background, they can't tune the bass drum, and they can't tune the guitar or whatnot. I can tune every drum equally well. And that's what I'm training my people to do. I have been training people all my life. So, well, as everything goes, there's only so much I can do. And I'm on the last leg of my journey in this art form. I am on the last leg of my journey. I have 3 young people that I'm training right now. Keith, Chandler, and Ryan. After those 3, I have my gloves. I have the hammers. I put the hammers away. I have one young man that I work with. He's the best tuner I think I've ever worked with in my whole life. His name is Robbie Davis. There he over there. Robbie, stand up. Let you guys see you. Robbie. I will put Robbie as a tuner against anybody. He hears the note, so he hears the note to a point. It's only imaginable how he hears the note. A lot of times I work in my shop, in my studio, and I'll be in some trouble with a note. I just can't hear the patterns and the overtone. I don't know where to go up or down. And I say, Robbie, come over here, help me out. I can't hear this note, I got tone deaf. And Robbie will walk straight into my room, and I'll hit the note, and he'll say, your second octave is 5 cents sharp, or 17 cents sharp. Your harmonic is too low. You're this, you're the other. He tell you right off the bat. And if I want to doubt him, he will go to the machine and set the machine. That's what he's saying now. He's telling me your second octave is 17 cents up, or whatever you want to say. Whatever the partials are, up or down, he will tell you right off of there. And then he'll set the machine and say, look right there. He could point it out to you where the octave really was. And I cannot hear like that anymore. Of course, over 75 years. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 75 years I've been swinging a hammer. And of course, my doctor told me at the university that I have lost some tonal, I have some ear damage. Of course, I will know that because the abuse that I have done to myself with hammering, with no protective gear, I'm still very fortunate that I can hear really. Because I work with no protection for 40 years. Bang, bang with a steel hammer on an open barrel with no protection. I will stick my head inside of a bass drum with no protection and strike it over the hammer. Could you imagine that? And I did it all my life. It's only when I came to this country, everybody said, put earplugs on it, you gotta put on here. Then I started to put, and then I could not use the earplugs because I was never accustomed to use them. So when I put the earpods on, it started giving me a headache. The pressure in my ear was giving me a headache and pains. So I will use a little bit and stop, a little and stop. And over a period of time, I get used to it now, so it doesn't bother me anymore. But at first, I just could not use the earplug. So thinking about the abuse that I gave to myself, and I'm still hearing a bit. I could hear the notes very well up to this day, not as good as Robbie can, but it's still pretty good. So ladies and gentlemen, these are some of the things I said in a nutshell, that I have done. Just in a nutshell. Well, I have had a scholarship. For that matter, I was very bright in school as a young man. I had 2 scholarships. I was going to private school, and I got a scholarship, got pretty bright through my grades. And I got a scholarship from a public school to an academy. I was the highest educated school in the country, in Trinidad. They called Bishop Anstey for boys. You had to go to school with ties and and you know, uniform, this kind of, all boys, Bishop's Anstey. And we do languages and we do all kind of good mathematics, and it was really high. And then after graduating with there, I had a second scholarship offered by the government to study music in England, in the Birmingham School of Music. There, I had a scholarship, an open scholarship, as long as I wanted to be there, as far up as I wanted to go with my education. And when I went to England, we went to the school and investigated the scholarship, and they look up the records and they say, yes, you are a young man, Ellie Mannette, yes, you have been offered a scholarship by your government, and it's an open scholarship, start whenever, and these are the requirements and whatnot and whatnot. So I went back to the hotel, and I told the guys, I don't want the scholarship. I want to go home. I'm not going to take it. I was like 22 years old. The student was nothing to talk about. Trash can. Everybody said, you're not going to take the scholarship? I said, no, I want to go home. And I wrote my dad and told him that I'm coming home. I did not get any reply. So I took it on my own to go back to the islands. And people, ladies and gentlemen, it was the roughest time I've had in my whole life. Because I came back to the island without taking the scholarship. Because the island of Trinidad got there to get to the information that Ellie Mannette has received a scholarship by the government of Trinidad and Tobago, open scholarship to study in England. And you gave up that scholarship to come home to play on trash can. So I found more or less, they threw me out. And I had a very, really rough time in my young days, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, growing up, and really, really rough time. I had nowhere to sleep, nothing to eat, I had to steal food to eat, I had no clothes to wear, I hardly had shoes on, nobody will give me a job, everybody's against me because I gave up a scholarship to come home. They call me a vagabond, they call me the worst name you could imagine. Just think about that. Just think about the difficulty I went through to develop something that really, in fact, I did not know where it was going. That was the kind of a troublesome part in my mind, in everybody's mind. Where is this art form going? You're going to give up a scholarship to do this? Where is it going to go? The government don't want it, the people don't want it. But something was driving me on. And I always say to people, I was born with a God's gift, and I was driven with an inner sense from above. Because the difficulty and the trauma that I had been going through to make this happen, nobody in the world understood it. Nobody. Slam doors in my face, shut you out. Could you imagine a young man, hey, why are you doing this? Hey, go find a job, go find a job. No, I don't want to find a job. I want this thing, I want this. And little at a time, when the art form began to blossom, and you begin to hear the things begin to happen, second time, get a children, I was the oldest young man in the genius. Oh yes? I wasn't a genius all the time, I was the biggest vagabond in the world. You understand? I was the biggest vagabond, the worst young man that was ever born in Trinidad. It was suddenly, Ellie Mannette is a genius, Ellie Mannette is a genius. And the trend began. And the trend began. As a result, they cannot deny it anymore. They got to accept it now. And I was not happy in Trinidad because regardless of how much I did, these so-called socialites who call themselves high and mighty always turned their nose up at the steel man. Because the steel man, in fact, had a bad name. The boys were fighting among each other for no reason. Why? Jealousy. Somebody had a better drum than the other. Some girlfriend or some this or some the other. Everybody's fighting with each other. Therefore, the neighborhood called you an outcast. Outcast. That was exactly what it. And people were coming around and they would parade for carnival and dance with you on the streets for carnival. And then after carnival, they turned their back on you. You cannot talk to anybody anymore. Everybody's. So I realized this is happening. So I had the opportunity to come to this country. Maureen Norrell, Annie Norrell and Jeff Norrell, in here right now, I think. Annie Norrell and Jeff Norrell, their father, brought me this country in 1967. 1967. I think that's what it was, I think. Anyway, And I stayed with the family in Whitestone, Queens. And from there, I think I moved to California. I spent a little time with them there. But I see Andy and Jeff year after year after year, periodically. And I see them grow up because Andy was like 13 years old or 14, I don't know. Jeff was about a little older, 14, 15, 16, I don't know. But I see them grow up as young people. And up to this day, Andy and I and Jeff are like a family. They do no wrong as far as I'm concerned. They do no wrong. And those are my people. And as the workshop goes on from year to year, I always say Andy and Jeff is the first two people will appear here to do the workshop. Whoever else in between, that's their affair. But Andy and Jeff is coming first and foremost because they are my family. They brought me here. If I did not come here, I might not be successful as I am today. And I travel the country and abroad promoting. I never regret what I did. I pass my skills on, and I will go in peace to know that I have left a legacy of hard work, determination, professionalism, and ethics with what I do. So ladies and gentlemen, I can talk all day, but this is a little of what I have been through. And I hope you all understand what I'm saying, because I speak fast sometimes. My language and my diction is some West Indian, is a cross between West Indian and American. So I hope you guys can understand what I'm saying. And that's about it for now. I'm going to play a little for you. I usually play, Robbie? I usually play a song for some young lady over the last several years. I play for Andy's lady, I play for Patty D, I play for Susie and Angie, I play for Kathy George, I play for Emily, I play for my daughter Julie. I don't know who I play for. I always play songs that compose the melody and the lyrics to go with it. I am not a musician like this, but I can compose really well. I don't know how I do it and how and why. I can compose melodies. Why? Everybody might find it very strange for me to say this, but the facts are the facts. And it's a known fact with me. I don't really play calypso music. It's not me. I never play calypso. And that is not only here. Since I was in the island of Trinidad, I was a little boy, like 10 years or 8 years, and I have 1,000 records. And it's Carlos Jobim and Beethoven and all these, Mantovani, and all these are the records I used to collect. And I was seriously enough. I would play Carnival, I'd play the calypso, whatever it is, I beat iron. Occasionally I'll beat another drum. But I play, of course, the calypso, so I follow it. But put the calypso down for Carnival, I'm done with that. I really and truly like to hear soft, beautiful music. Why? When I was very young, Trinidad was run by the British, way back I was 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. And I had a small radio, like this, by my head at night sleeping. And I would listen to Strauss and Schubert's, Mendelssohn, Bach, all these people all night. And I'm listening to it, and this music kind of stuck in my head. As a result, of course, the calypso is there, but there's nothing for me to learn from the calypso. I hear a lot of voicing inside. I hear a lot of voicing inside of the orchestra when they play. And in so doing, the voices that I hear from inside the orchestra, whenever I play, I have a kind of an idea to play in a mood in which I am heard from the orchestra. I feel I cannot learn anything from calypso. And it's beautiful. I would not criticize it in any way, but it's not my music. And the people who play calypso, I love them to death. And I would not criticize them for loving calypso. If they want to criticize me for what I play, so be it. I really don't care. But I cannot play calypso music. I just cannot. I want to hear the beat, but I can only take so much of it. I can only take so much of it. And I will hope, I will really love, in fact, that the arrangers, I speak to them, and speak to somebody sometime here for the future, that you want to be arrangers that will play me a nice, soft, like it's a classic. Emily did it one time. At some time they called it morning song or something. And it went over very, very well. Everybody loved it. It was orchestral and it was classical mood. And I really, from that point on, I think Doc did some too. I'm not sure if he did some, but from that point on, it's constant upbeat. And I could deal with it, but only so much I could deal with it. That's right. So, what I decided to do this year, I did not compose any melody for this year. I wanted to play a song for myself, my life story, but I couldn't get it done. I just had too much work in my company, backed up the work, and I just couldn't put the time into rehearsing. I did not even rehearse much. The guy told Chandler, I said, I don't know what I'll do in the workshop this year. I've not been practicing. I don't know what to do. So Chandler said, you've got a lot of stuff. So what I decided I'll do is, I have a whole bunch of songs that I've been working on, just for my own enjoyment. I'm not trying to put a record out there or anything. For my own enjoyment, I compose a lot of songs in my head and how I play them with lyrics and everything. And I decided I'm going to play about maybe 4 or 5 or 6 little excerpts from each song to make kind of a medley. That's what I think I want to do this time, because I play for somebody each year. And this year, I'll play a little excerpt from this, a little excerpt from there, a little excerpt, and make a little medley and call it, that's it. This drum here, if you hear the overtones, I had a tune, Andy Narell recorded this drum a few months ago. And after he recorded, I listened to the drum and I say I wanted more out of that drum. So I took the drum at home in my house and I was throwing a machine upstairs in my living room. And I get carefully at night and I look at the machine detail. And I started to retune the drum, retune this entire drum. Everything I had on it, I retuned it. I wanted it to be more orchestral, like, you know, more like a, you know, if you hear the echo, huh? Display. And then they try to create a big bottom. When I say a bottom of the note, like a deep. So you don't have only the upper partials. I want a deepness bottom. So what I did here, I speed up the overtones from the upper pipe, and then I darken the overtone for the bottom. So you get like a full orchestra in the band, from high and low coming from the one melody. So I play something for you. And now, as I mentioned, I will play a little piece of this, a little piece of that, and make a little melody. I hope it makes sense of what I'm doing. Anything, anybody? So. together. Everything I did there is a different song that I just play a part of it. I play about 8 different little pieces of a song, and all of what I have done. It's not anybody's arrangement. Everything there is I did for myself. And I can, whether right or wrong, that's what I want to hear in my stuff. And hopefully one of these days somebody might take it and do something with it. But I think I've done a lot of work for myself in not having a music education, and how I play my stuff and how I play my chords is the same chord that you will use as a musician, but I don't play the way you do it. I play the roots in different ways. I improve the chord a lot. What I play, how I play the melody and the chord at the same time. So that's why I don't play it on the time, because to fit the melody in and to play all these movements of a page is extremely difficult. And then you don't even think it, you're playing. The melody is going and the chord is going. So that is what I try to do in my playing. And I hope you like what I did, and I make blunder here or there, but I'm practicing a lot this year. And next time I hope I can play my song for you guys. As I look back in time of the life I have lived, how could I and wondered why, but there's no regret, but I can't forget the things I did both night and day, knowing in my heart one day my work will somehow find a way. The robber, if one will ask me, where would it go? I simply say I just don't know. But I find a path that I will follow. I don't know it. First, I have to look ahead and search for I can find the spot, and all the spot shows me where to go. These were my thoughts, they drove me on and on, and when the light appeared, suddenly the picture became clear. Now what will this picture be? I wish I knew, but I couldn't see. But what I know, the drums will soon be here, because I'll walk from year to year, and always know one day that I will hear them play. This is what I see. It became my destiny, and all the folks around could see this was a picture had to be. And then I figured it out, and you know that's true. Things I did, right now, I did not do this good because, of course, as I mentioned, I wanted to play while I did not practice it. And I hope I can play for you sometime. The things I did, I know I will say that. I never had a doubt in mind. The things I did, I know I will find. The drums, the years of past, the drums are here. Yes, now, how she, and then I went into Calypso. And then the lovely thing when it got done but I cannot play it now. So I just fool around with it now to give you an idea, and with the lyrics. And the lyrics is my life. The lyrics is my life. How could I do this? Why? Why did I do it? And what drove me on to do it? And ladies and gentlemen, this is the life of Ellie Mannette. And I did one of the forerunners of all the creators of the art form. There are three of us that really did the bulk of the work. Tony Williams, Ellie Mannette, Booty Marshall. Rudolph Charles did something significant also. Because at the time, Rudolph Charles cut my tenor basses down from 27 with the augmented pattern and cut them down to 10 inches and call it a quadraphonic. And I can give him a lot of compliment for changing the sound. He did not change the notation, the same augment, but he cut the drum from 27 to 10. And that 10 inches changed the whole sound of what I had on the drum. So Rudolph Charles did that. But the creators of the art form, and then nobody else. It's copycats right now. They're making a lot of changing up things and doing whatever. They're not creating anything. So they're just changing things. And myself, Tony, and Bertie. You better believe it. Anybody else could say, create something, let me hear what you did. You make a 4-pound, what's a 4-pound? The same augmented thing you're talking about, what's a 4-pound? What's a 6 cello? Come on, give me a break. It's the same thing. What's a 12 bass? It's the same bass. They just added number. So these three, 38 and 9, 3 people, Tony, Ellie, Bertie, Rudolph Charles, who did the choir, cut the drums, and that's it. And we have done that. And when it comes to the notation of the steel drums, the terminology of music, in what the steel drums are, I did this terminology. I had the whole tone, I had the diminished of 5th third, I had the augment, and I had the 4th and 5th bass drums, and I did synchronization way back in 72. I made a big drum way back in 95. It's only now everybody coming and doing this and doing. Tell me what Ellie Mannette didn't do. You tell me. That's right. I wrapped the sticks, I blew the drums, I made a big drum in 75, and everything else you could think about. The drum, the skirt length to create tone quality, the notation of the notes of place, everything. And I had a natural gift for doing these things. I saw a picture in my head. So ladies and gentlemen, I could talk all night, but I think I've done quite a bit. Right? You're on me again. If I stay here all night, you wouldn't go, eh? I mean, yeah. And you see, the song that I did, all the songs is truthful, is meaningful, is real. Like I made songs for myself and for Kathy on the road. I did 3 songs crossing the country back and forth, and thinking about the dangers of the highway. And every one of the songs is, and when I play the song, Charlotte here, and Charlotte can tell you, I play the songs in some of my songs, in different concerts and in different settings, and people will cry. I'm telling you, the words is so truthful and meaningful, ladies and gents crying when I play. I play in New York, and I play in Chicago, and wherever I play the song. And I sing the words. I can't sing, but due to singing with the drum, it sounds good. And that is some of the things that I am very happy that I can compose a melody and put the lyrics to the melody, which is not, as a musician, you guys know, it's not easy to do. Composing melodies and putting lyrics to it at a given time is not that easy. Through the years, Our journeys were long and frankly quite dangerous. And at night time, the roadways were dark, and they seemed so frightful to us. But we kept on and on. One thing in our mind, what we have it. This is what I'm saying. Through the years, our journeys were long and frankly quite dangerous. And at night time, the roadways were dark, and they seemed so frightful to us, but we kept on and on. The one thing in our mind, what will this journey bring for us in getting home and getting home safely? And that is what that song is. I call it the journey home. And as we go along the way, traveling both night and day, and what we try to find, and sometimes we try to find somewhere where we can stay to dine. Traveling from the west, we took little time to rest, because we have to find some ways ahead before we can rest our day. And we're talking the facts for the road. We're traveling night and day, day and night. And at times we try to find somewhere where we can get to dine. Traveling from the west, we took very little time to rest, because we have to try to get way ahead before we can rest our head. So that was our life for 32 years on the road. 32 years promoting what you guys enjoy today. That's right. Promoting what everybody, when we get in the North Dakota and Wyoming, across the country, nobody knew about steel drum there way back 20, 30 years ago. Nobody knows what you're talking about. Steel drum was that. And you're going to Idaho, what are you talking about? But we established it slowly but surely. And it's hard work, and we made it happen by perseverance and dedication. And Kathy George, without Kathy George, Ellie Mannette would never be what he is today. She did everything, and she died, yes. She has made the steel drum what it is in this country. And for that matter, when WVU gave me the position, I did not want to go. I did not want to come. I had no need for WVU. I work with countless college programs across the United States, Brigham Young, North Texas State, Georgia State, Portland State. What do I want at WVU? I'm not going there. They can't pay me in the first place. But Kathy said, Ellie, you should go, because you always wanted to teach your work. You always want to teach it. But you do a workshop in North Texas, you do a workshop in Brigham Young, you do one in Portland, you do one in North Carolina, you do one in Georgia, and nobody's learning anything. Because as fast as they finish a workshop after 2 weeks, or sometime more, sometime less, as a clinician, as a residency at different time, when I'm finished, I go back there another year or two to forget everything I taught them. So she said, you will never pass your skills on if you don't settle down on one place. I said, okay, Kathy, okay. I'm going to try it out. And I came to WVU. I got invited in 91, and I joined in 92. And up to now, I'm still here, 26 years. 26 years. And as a result of joining WVU, I trained Robbie and Darren and Billy and Emily and Alan Cole and all the people you could think about that tune in drum across the country. Glenn and name it, even the Pontiac boys. All of them, right here on campus, right here. And if I did not come to this university, I really don't know what will be happening for tuners around the country right now. We might not have any, because I don't know where it's tuning drum. But my tuners, my students, they're all over the country right now. And abroad, they go to Trinidad to work. They go to New York to work, they go to Canada to work. They learn the trade and they learn it well. And I am proud of what I've done, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm done.